You join us for another Autocar drag race. We produce performance tests like this, track battles, reviews and much more every single week. So subscribe below, turn on notifications and you will never miss one. Now, summer is coming. It's warm enough to drive around with the wind in your hair or across your crash helmet or even bouncing off your wee baldy head. And we wanted to know, what's the fastest way to drive with your head in the breeze? Well, the Ariel Atom 4 is one of your options. It is brand new. It produces 320 horsepower from a Honda Civic Type R engine in the back, and it weighs little more than 500 kilograms. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a manual gearbox, which makes it rather simpler than the two competitors here to get it off the line. There is no complicated launch control system. You just bang it in second gear, because first is over as soon as it started, and away you go. One of those competitors is the brand new 2019 BMW S1000RR motorcycle. Munich's superbike produces 207 horsepower from a 4-cylinder inline engine that revs to 14,600 RPM, with peak torque of 83 pounds-foot, coming in at 11,000 RPM. With carbon fibre wheels and a new aluminium swing arm, the S1000RR has a raft of electronic systems to stop you getting chucked off of the back, but most importantly for this test, it has launch control. We know the McLaren 720S is massively quick. In other videos on our channel, you can actually see it beat a McLaren Senna to 60 miles an hour. But here we have it in spider form. That makes this variant of the 720S 49 kilograms heavier than the hardtop. It still produces 710 horsepower from its twin-turbocharged 4-litre V8, driving the back wheels through a 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox, and it benefits, like the bike, from launch control. So let's see what happens. In the first race, the bike rider seemed to react a touch quicker than the two car drivers. Now, we wouldn't say he jumped the lights necessarily, but the S1000RR won by such a fine margin, and we would like the machines to be what's on test rather than the people, that we decided to run it again. Now, the result was incredibly close, but reversed the second time around, and frankly, you could just run this race all day and get a very, very slightly, marginally different result every single time. So we did the sensible thing and attached our V-Box data logging equipment to all of these vehicles. Now, what that does is it takes out the driver or rider reaction time and focuses down scientifically on exactly how fast they will go in a straight line. What's surprising here then is that the Atom is fast. I mean, like really, really fast. It reaches 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds flat. That's 3/10 quicker than the bike, but is still a couple of tenths away from the McLaren. Once launch control hooks up on the BMW and the 720S though, they are off. The 720S hits 100 miles an hour in 5.35 seconds. The bike reaches the same speed in 5.68 seconds, while the Atom takes over a second longer. But after that, it is neck and neck for the rest of the race between the BMW and the McLaren. The car takes 10.2 seconds to the quarter mile, which is astonishingly quick, and it passes through the quarter at 143.9 miles an hour. But the bike is clawing back the early deficit at this point. The S1000RR hits the quarter in 10.48 seconds at 148.6 miles an hour, nearly 5 miles an hour quicker than the 720S. Half a second later, the Ariel records its standing quarter mile time of 11.22 seconds at 126.1, which in any other circumstances would be phenomenally quick. By the finishing line, the 720S just holds on to the win in a photo finish, completing the half mile in 15.8 seconds at 171.25 miles an hour.
but the bike has gained to the fact that it is only 1/10 behind, crossing the line in 16.03 seconds at 172.93 miles an hour. Now, nearly 2 seconds later, the Atom finishes in 17.89 seconds at 143.2, which is still pretty quick for a car with no bodywork. It's mighty close then, but the 720S remains the drag race marvel, and in spite of form is just about the fastest way you can go in a straight line with the wind in your hair and number plates on the back. To watch the 720S take on the Senna as advertised, click on the video on the left, or for more content like this, hit the Autocar logo on the right to subscribe.